Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be taking a look at Fryxgames and Stronghold Games' newest Terraforming Mars game, and that is the Ares Expedition. This is the Kickstarter version, and there has been a lot of discussion about this, so I'm just going to go ahead and take my soapbox now and get it out of the way. This right here, I deliberately left the the wrapping on the box so that this sticker would continue to be displayed. This is the Kickstarter Edition. It includes promos, a dual layer player board, and custom storage trays. These last two are why I personally backed the Kickstarter game, especially the dual layer player board, because I think in a game like Terraforming Mars, it's very important to not lose, if you bump your board or something like that. So for me, I knew that yes, I probably would have been able to get this game fairly quickly in retail, probably cheaper in retail, but I wanted the upgrades for this game particularly. I love Terraforming Mars, but I do really like that this is hopefully a kind of trimmed down, quicker, lighter version of Terraforming Mars. So I just wanted to point out that I am not upset that this game hit retail before I received it, because I was willing to wait for my Kickstarter upgrades. Also, you can see below here, we're going to take a look at the mats here in a second. What I'm not a fan of is Stronghold Games or Fryxgames Games or whoever's decision it was to put it out at Target. They should have been upfront with that in the beginning, and that's all I'm saying. I don't feel like people should warrant going on BGG and giving this game a 1, but especially before they've even played it, just because they haven't received it yet. And it even took me longer to get my game because I had the playmats involved, and these were on a later boat than everything else. So some people have gotten their Kickstarter edition even before me. Again, I've got my game now. I've got my copy. I'm going to enjoy it. I just do feel like so many retailers now are starting to put games like this on their shelves, which I do think is good for the hobby. But you just need to be upfront with it, because if you are a person who kickstarted a game because you wanted it first, and that's why you kickstarted it, not because of these nice upgrades, but because you wanted it on your table before anyone else, then you should have been privy to the information that, hey, it's going to hit Target shelves. The retail edition is going to hit Target shelves right around the same time delivery is. And anybody that's familiar with crowdfunding games knows that a expected delivery date from a Kickstarter is always going to be at least a month or two behind that. So I'm done with my soapbox now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the player mats just real quick. These are wider than I was expecting, but that's fine. I guess they just want to give you plenty of room to lay out your cards here. So they have this big green section, and this one's actually kind of divided between reds and blues. So again, nice area just to lay out your cards. This is where you're going to be placing your dual layer board on top of, and then your player phase. Other than that, there's really not a huge need for these, but I feel like it was just a nice touch. I actually only got 2 of them because I'll primarily be playing this solo or possibly with my brother-in-law, and we'll just be playing head-to-head. I seriously doubt I'm going to be taking this to a group and playing with up to 4 people. So it was nice that they gave you that option to just get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So let's bring the box back and take a look at what's inside. All right, so the wrapping is off, the box lid is off. There's essentially, an advertisement for Terraforming Mars and the big box, and that's So Clever and Survive Escape from Atlantis. So that's what, it's not Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition artwork. All right, here is the rulebook. It's a nice material. It feels kind of like similar to the Wingspan rulebook. There's some like texture to the pages, which I always like. Nice thick paper. Nice big graphics. So this doesn't look too bad. And again, this Terraforming Mars was not a horrible game to figure out. It was just a hard game to master. But this one should be even better. So we're talking about 10 pages really of true instructions. Then there's the co-op mode, solo rules. We'll definitely be checking those out. I do like this, that if perchance maybe I could convince, like the wife to play, we would probably play the co-op mode because she doesn't like playing head-to-head. She definitely likes cooperative games. So there is the rule book, and then here's a quick start guide. So this is nice if you are familiar with Terraforming Mars. What's the similarities? What's the differences? And then quick setup, page 8, gameplay, planning steps. Okay. So this isn't bad. We'll probably check this out first and see if this is actually successful in getting us playing the game, since we are familiar with Terraforming Mars. All right, so here is one of the reasons why I kickstarted the game, the dual layer player boards. And these look really nice. They are nice and flat. They're not warped in any way. So we will definitely, let's slide this over a little bit here, and that's where that's gonna go right there. So I do like these. These are looking nice. Just a picture of Mars on the back. So we'll keep one out to test it out here in a second. All right, here is your Mars board, I guess. I don't know what they're officially calling this, but some people were complaining that it really didn't need to be this big. But your resource board here is obviously but so big, and this game is going to take up a certain amount of space, but this is certainly much smaller than the Terraforming Mars board. People are also saying that the ocean tiles are pretty irrelevant, because basically all you're doing is flipping over ocean tiles. You're not putting out anything else, any other tiles like you do in Terraforming Mars. They said you could have just done it with a deck of cards and things like that. But I feel like this is still a nice touch to have Mars, and you're looking at Mars, and so we'll see how it feels. All right. So these are basically just to help you with your understand which phases of each round are going to be happening. So for those of you not familiar with how Ares Expedition is going to be different from Terraforming Mars, it essentially, the whole multi-use, or the cards with the symbols and having to pay for them, all that stuff is very similar. All of the upgrading your resources and moving them over here. But what you're going to do each round is you're going to choose a phase that you are going to take part in. And so you're going to choose either development, construction, action, production, or research. For example, if you want to claim all of your production numbers, you're going to have to do step 4. And you'll have to choose that card. You'll put it down face down so nobody else can see. And then everyone else will pick a phase too. So multiple people may choose the same phase. Or if you're lucky, everybody chooses a different one. The trick is that whatever phase you choose, you basically get a main action, which everybody's going to get to take part in, and you get a bonus action. And then on your next turn, you have to pick a different action. So we'll have to check out the co-op rules about whether they're going to allow table talk and things like that, because obviously you could always just say, ooh, we really need development, we really need research. You do development, I'll do research. They may not let that happen in co-op. Obviously in competitive, it's every man for himself. So, but these are essentially just to put out and give people a reminder of what phases are going to happen that round. All right, so here are the ocean tiles. I'm pretty sure these tree tiles are just basically counters. It's almost like end game victory points, things like that. But here are the ocean tiles they will be flipped over. If you look at the back side here, they're all barren. As you aquify Mars, you get to flip it over and gain a little bonus. And flipping all of these over is one of the steps that you need to take. All right. So we've got some cards here. Lots of space. plenty of space, it looks like, for, you could sleeve the cards, possibly expansions. That's what I'm thinking. You have your various resource cubes here. These are going to be what track these levels here. Is there a brown? No. What are these for? I guess those are player colors. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. Player colors. Here are, you know, this is like your currency. So I did not do the upgraded cubes. You could have gotten the metal cubes, but I've never really been big on the metal shiny cubes. I'm perfectly fine with these marbleized plastic cubes, but these are very similar to what you would see in Terraforming Mars. These look like card dividers, which are always nice that someone will provide those. Player aids. Okay, and here are the resource. So this is another Kickstarter upgrade. And I guess they just give you 2, so you can put one by one person, one by the other. Let's just see how well these... Well, it stays on there pretty well. It doesn't just pop right off, but it's no like game trays or anything like that. So there's that, and there's of course some baggies. Hopefully we won't really need to use those. So let's put those back in there like that. What do we got here? These must be the promos. Either that or the corporations. So let's just, these are going to be easy to open. Let's take a look at these. I'm guessing these are the promos. The smaller deck of cards that you don't or wouldn't see in the retail version. I'm also wondering, this box, I cannot get this open. This box feels bigger. I didn't physically put my hands on one in the Target store, but I've seen them in passing, and I feel like this box is bigger than the retail version. Deeper, taller, however you want to call it. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is, you know, some corporation cards. But I'm guessing these are the promo cards at the end of the day. So, assorted enterprises. Red cards are going to be one-time event cards. You play them. Your green cards are going to be play them to increase your production values. Then your blue cards are going to be situational. When a certain action happens, then you can, you know, do the various things. So, or during the action phase, if you chose phase 3, which is nice, you can see here, it says action phase 3, and there's a little 3 Roman numeral above the card here to remind you of what phase to use this action. And it looks like you can probably discard a card to gain 6 money. I forget what the currency is called. But yeah, so that appears to be the promo cards. Yeah, so the corporation cards are obviously light on the back. Here's the remainder of the cards. I'm not going to go through all of the cards. The artwork appears to be really nice. Okay, so let's take a look at these real quick. So these are going to be your kind of phase selection cards. And as you, so if you choose development as your action, each player may play 1 green project card. And then as a bonus, only you, because you chose development as your action or your phase, can pay 3 less for the card you play this phase. Okay? Alright, and so then this one says construction, so each player may play 1 blue card or 1 red card. But then if you played this card, you get to either draw a card or play an additional blue or red card. So those first 2 phases are all about getting your cards out. This action phase here says each player activates any action effect, so they activate a blue card. And if you were the one that played it, you get to activate it twice. And then each player gains heat, plants, and draw. So this is the production. You basically gain what you have listed on your board here, and if you play it, you get a bonus for credits. And then research is the last one. Each player draws 2 cards, keeps 1. If you play this card, you draw 5 and keep 2. So again, all of these steps are necessary to win the game. The biggest difference between Ares Expedition and Terraforming Mars is that you only take the steps when you or someone you're playing with or against plays one of these cards. You can see they all look the same on the back. So you're not going to take every step every round. There's going to be lots of rounds. There's not a finite number of rounds. But Terraforming Mars, essentially you did all the steps every round. Whereas this one, you're picking and choosing which actions you do. So let's set these off to the side here and just take a look at some of the standard corporations. Helion, Echoline, these are all like corporations from the original game. Each one of these gives you some sort of special power, asymmetrical ability that makes them a little different. I don't think I ever got close to playing through all of the corporations in my Terraforming Mars game. Okay, so this looks... Okay, so there's some mixture here. So again, these are the tags that may be referenced. This is what happens. This is the cost of the card. And this is what you get during production phase. Draw the production phase. During production phase, draw a card. So if you've paid to play this down and someone plays the, phase 4 production phase, which is orange, then you get to draw a card. So we're just really nice, thoughtful combos for this game. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. I'm hoping that it's not going to be too bad to learn, so that I can teach other people, and that it will play pretty quickly. That's my hope, is that it will play faster than Terraforming Mars ever did. So let's just take a look at a few things here, see how things fit into the player boards here. So, yeah, they don't move. They don't slide. So you literally have to almost like roll them or pick them up and move them, which is nice. These things, since there's that little ripple to it, these cubes are not moving very easily from their spot. They're not even being bumped up or down. Obviously they fit into there pretty easily, but this is nice. Like, it's kind of stuck in the 30, stuck in the 20, stuck in the 10. So pretty sure that's what these, your specific player color is going to be used on the left side, and then these here are going to be used on the right side. Let's just take a look and see what these look like in our fancy tray here. So the question is, does it go... That's obviously not going to work. It must go this way, and that way. Right? That's how you would do it? Yeah, I think so. So again, I mean, these are a nice touch. It will certainly reduce the amount of baggies that I'll have in my box, which will be nice. If we can find something for those other cubes as well. So yeah, I'm thinking this must be kind of how it's supposed to look. Alright, so we set that off. Let's see here. So they're pretty light, but they're easy to pick up. Easy to pick up out of the tray. The tray has some curved sides to it. So things are really easy to pick up out of here. I don't know why there's this little cutout right here. But let's check and see. Let's give it a little shake. Let's turn it upside down. Okay, so the lids stay on there nicely. Obviously, they're not coming out. Again, I guess maybe the cutout is designed for you to like slide them out right there as opposed to like up the side of the wall. Not sure, but it works. It functions. It's not super pretty. I don't know why they chose that color, other than I guess that's the closest color they could get to the surface of Mars here. But yeah, there's one other thing that I heard some rumblings about. Let's just check that out. These two clear cubes are what you're supposed to track your temperature and your oxygen level on. And people were saying that it would have been nice if this had been a dual layered board, you know, this board here. But those are about the right size. These, I can see that it's, you know, really, technically this cube is slightly bigger than these steps. It's not super easy, but I mean, I'm pretty close to it. You guys can be the judge whether you feel like these spaces probably could have been bigger. There's room here. You probably could have, or you know, I don't know how you would have done it, but I feel like they could have made these tracks a little bigger, or made this board dual layer just like this board, which would have been really nice. Made these like one big sliding groove, and these you wouldn't have to make them individual, but just something that would keep it from going out of there side to side would be nice. But all right, that's going to do it for our unboxing. Again, there is a whole another 2 stacks of cards here. This game is basically just cards, essentially, with a few other things, but the cards are the main, the star of the show. So we are going to take in the rule book, figure out how to play, and then we will be back shortly with a kind of an overview how to play video, and then I'm sure a full solo playthrough. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more content like this, including more Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition content on the channel, please consider subscribing to the Meeple Marathon. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.